Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Valerie Mills. Thanks for logging on to My Fox Hurricane, tracking Hurricane Oscar. And this storm really intensified quickly. Within about 24 hours, we went from development odds around 30% that we would see something form to having a Category 1 hurricane. And so this intensified very quickly. It's a very small condensed storm, but that's the thing with these smaller hurricanes. They are able to spin up and intensify much quicker. And we can see some of these dark colors here showing some of those overshooting cloud tops and just kind of the robust convection around this general area of circulation. And actually, we've already had landfall early Sunday morning in the southern Bahamas from Category 1 Hurricane Oscar, and we expect another landfall to be likely through the next couple of hours. So here's where our hurricane warnings are in effect. We have the Turks and Caicos, the southern Bahamas, and then part of the coastline of Cuba is in this hurricane warning. And then we get into the blue and yellow as we kind of head away from the main impact area where we have tropical storm watches and warnings in effect. So it's a small part of the Caribbean that is going to be feeling the impacts from this storm. But over the next couple of days, the wind and the rain is going to be really intense with this storm, especially for those areas. So we currently have those 80-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and Hurricane Oscar is moving at a pretty quick clip here, about 12 miles per hour to the west and southwest. And this is a little bit of a funky track map as I play this out. We are expecting this storm to dip a bit more to the south, and that's where we anticipate that landfall likely Sunday afternoon along the coast of Cuba. And then it really starts to take that sharp curve to the north. By Monday afternoon, winds down quite a bit from 80 miles per hour, we anticipate landfall, to 45 on Monday. And then those winds are just kind of going to continue to weaken. 40 miles per hour by Tuesday on into Wednesday. And notice it takes that sharp turn to the north and east. So this is not an impact to Florida, to the continental U.S., but it's really maybe the Caribbean islands, and we'll keep an eye on Bermuda as this heads in that general direction, but we expect it to lose its tropical characteristics pretty quickly as it moves out of this area, starts to encounter some hostile upper winds, some drier air, but it's this stronger shear that's kind of shooting off the coast of Florida, off the east coast, well out into the Atlantic. And so there's where Oscar is now. Once it takes that dip to the south, it starts to get pulled north and east, where it's going to encounter this stronger area of wind shear, which should continue to weaken it over the next couple of days. But as far as the rain, especially for parts of the Turks and Caicos, the southern Bahamian Islands, we're talking the potential for 6 to 8 inches of rain for a lot of areas, and some isolated higher totals. We'll also see those pretty tough rainfall totals, the potential for flash flooding, maybe even some mudslides for parts of Cuba as well for Sunday, right on into the start of our week. But you can see models in pretty good agreement here with this sharp curve to the north and east. And we have these strong steering flows. It doesn't really give these storms much option in where they can go. So that's good news for the East Coast, as we don't really anticipate any additional activity behind this. This is really the only area that we're watching right now in the tropics. But we look at this formation zone area, and at this point in our hurricane season, we tend to see a higher frequency of hurricanes forming in the northwestern Caribbean, right on off to Bermuda. So we'll be keeping a close eye on all of these areas, all of the Atlantic basin, as we start to wind down the rest of October. But hurricane season runs through the end of November, so not time to let our guards down just yet. Nadine and Oscar now off the list as of this weekend. Next name in line will be Patty. We'll continue to keep you updated right here on My Fox Hurricane.